Disappearance of Harold Holt. On a warm summer day in December 1967, Australia's 17th Prime Minister, Harold Holt, walked into the sea at Cheviot Beach and simply vanished. He was never seen again. Start by setting the scene. Paint a vivid picture of the day, the sunny weather, the small group of friends, the serene landscape of Victoria's coastline. Explain Holt's decision to go swimming despite the visible dangers, giving the viewer a sense of anticipation and foreboding. This isn't just the story of a man who disappeared. It's the story of Australia's greatest political mystery. A tale that has spurred endless debate, speculation, and wild conspiracy theories. This isn't just the story of a man who disappeared. It's the story of Australia's greatest political mystery. A tale that has spurred endless debate, speculation, and wild conspiracy theories. Harold Edward Holt was not a man destined for obscurity. Born in 1908, he entered politics early and quickly rose through the ranks, known for his charisma, sharp intellect, and deep sense of patriotism. Discuss Holt's major political achievements, such as his involvement in the shift from the White Australia policy and his strong alliance with the U.S. during the Vietnam War. Holt's political career was marked by bold moves, including his famous declaration that Australia would go all the way with LBJ in support of the Vietnam War. But beneath his public confidence, Holt faced growing pressures, both politically and personally. Mention his personal life, including his marriage to Laura Holt and rumors of extramarital affairs. This lays the groundwork for later discussions about conspiracy theories suggesting suicide or a staged disappearance. It was a typical Sunday morning in December. Holt, known for his love of the ocean, woke up early on his Portsea holiday week. After a quick breakfast, he made some phone calls and planned a relaxed day with friends. Include details like Holt's visit to the general store, his purchase of the weekend papers, and the brief stop at Point Nepean to watch a passing yacht. Slowly build up to the moment when Holt decided to stop at Cheviot Beach for a swim. As the group arrived at Cheviot Beach, Holt suggested they take a swim to cool off. Despite the treacherous waves and visible currents, he confidently strode into the water. What happened next remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in Australian history. Recount eyewitness testimonies of Holt entering the water and then, without struggle, disappearing beneath the waves. Be sure to highlight the eerie suddenness of it all. The calm before the storm. By 1:30 p.m. that day, Australia's largest ever search and rescue operation was underway. Helicopters, divers, and naval teams scoured the rough seas. But as night fell, hope began to fade. Include details about the scope of the search, the involvement of military and civilian authorities, and the growing sense of national anxiety. This section should evoke a sense of urgency and desperation as days passed without any sign of Holt. Despite days of intensive searching, not a single piece of evidence was found. No body, no clothing, nothing. For Australia, it was as if their leader had been swallowed by the sea. According to the official report, Harold Holt's disappearance was the result of an accidental drowning. The Prime Minister, an avid swimmer, underestimated the dangerous rip currents at Cheviot Beach that day. Discussed the evidence supporting this theory, including Holt's history of swimming at Cheviot Beach and reports of his deteriorating health leading up to the event. He had been suffering from a shoulder injury and was on medication at the time of his disappearance, which could have affected his ability to swim in such rough conditions. Though this explanation seemed logical, it did little to quell public suspicion. After all, how could a man as experienced in the water as Holt simply disappear without a trace? With no body and no definitive answers, it wasn't long before conspiracy theories began to take root. Some were outlandish, while others fed off the political tensions of the time. The Chinese submarine theory, perhaps the most infamous theory, suggests that Holt was actually a Chinese spy, and on the day he disappeared, he was picked up by a Chinese submarine waiting offshore. Delve into how this theory originated and why it was so popular, especially given the geopolitical climate of the Cold War. Suicide or faked death. Others speculated that Holt had become overwhelmed by his political responsibilities, particularly his involvement in the unpopular Vietnam believed he faked his death to escape the pressures of leadership. Discuss the evidence that supports and refutes these claims, including Holt's personal relationships and rumored extramarital affairs. CIA involvement. Another theory suggests that Holt may have been on the verge of withdrawing Australian troops from Vietnam, a move that would have angered the US. Was he silenced by the CIA before he could change course? Holt's death left Australia without a leader at a critical time in its history. His disappearance also changed the way the nation thought about its leaders, introducing a sense of vulnerability and uncertainty. Discuss how John McEwen took over as interim prime minister and the subsequent election of John Gorton as Holt's successor. Also, mention the memorials that have been erected in Holt's honor, including the ironic Harold Holt Memorial Swimming Center. Over 50 years later, Harold Holt's disappearance remains one of Australia's greatest unsolved mysteries. While the official explanation is accepted by most, the absence of definitive answers ensures that the mystery lives on in the minds of many. Did Harold Holt simply drown? Or was there something more sinister at play? Perhaps we'll never know. But one thing is for certain. His story will continue to captivate and intrigue for generations to come. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and remember, the truth is out there.